Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Gwen from the Dr. Gwen International Training and Empowerment Academy and host of the iTunes show, The Dr. Gwen Show. We are on day 14 of our Living an Empowered Life series. And what I want to talk with you about today is how community affects performance. Now, we have been talking a lot about living an empowered life, about you creating your vision and your mission statements, about creating those goals and those strategies that work for you. And now, today, we're going to look at how community affects your performance. So I'm going to share a story with you, which you may find very funny. At least now in retrospect, for me, it is funny. But at the time when I was going through it, it really was not. So I'm going to wait to see if a couple of my friends will join me. And I hope to see you here as we start our discussion. So according to Facebook, they are spreading the word that I'm live. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started because I really don't want this to be a long live cast. I really want to be very condensed, probably within 15 minutes or so. So where do we begin? A lot of times when you have your projects, maybe you're at work or maybe you are a business owner and you have a business, what you find yourself doing is feeling strained and feeling constrained about asking for assistance. Now, this is the way we were socialized, right? Because when we went to school, and I'm guilty as charged as a past school teacher, right? You sit in the classroom, you're supposed to do individual work. Even though there were times when we had cooperative learning is what we called it. And the kids were engaged in group activities. But mostly the activities were completed all by yourself. You sat alone at your desk, you figured your own problems, you did your own test, and you got your own results. And that's pretty much the way we were socialized in school. So now we grow up as adults, and what we try to do is the same thing in our life. When we have something that we're doing, we tackle that on our own, we struggle on our own, and we think it's cheating to reach out and ask for help. In fact, when we think of reaching out, our brain screams, our mind screams. That subconscious mind screams and says, no, hold up. Oh, no. You can't ask for help. You're going to appear as weak. You're going to appear as though you don't have it all together. All those little stories we tell ourselves. And sometimes what we do is we reach out for help, but we reach out to the easiest person or the easiest, let's say, target, knowing full well that that person or target cannot support the big goals that we have. And so what do? You end up with mediocrity because the resource that you're seeking, thank you for joining me, I appreciate it. The resources that you're seeking is insufficient to satisfy what the goals are that you have to attain. Excuse me. And so you end up with mediocrity, which is not really what you want. And then the whole cycle of fear steps in, and that cycle just continues, and then you freeze. You don't continue. Hey there, MK. I am so delighted to see you here. Yes, this topic is really important. So I'm just about to start sharing a story, a personal story. And this happened in 2013. And some of my friends who will watch this later will know the story because they were a part of it. So in 2013, I used to be a scared cat. My husband still thinks I am, but I have grown so much, trust me. So I used to be a scaredy cat, and so we had this wilderness activity that we were going to be going to. They sent us a list of things that we needed to bring. And what we shouldn't bring is makeup, and we shouldn't bring anything in jewelry, and we shouldn't bring anything luxurious. It was going to be a camp style thing. So immediately I freaked out. Now this was an event that was going to help you to overcome fear. Yeah, I know that, MK. I don't know you are, but let me tell you, that's where I was. So when I saw the list of things to bring and all of the things that started swirling in my mind completely got me frozen. Now I'm afraid of height. I'm afraid of tight spaces. Boy, you name it, I'm afraid of it, right? So I immediately started thinking, my gosh, what if they put us in deep water? I don't deal with that. What if they put me in a constricted space to help me overcome these fears? And my heart started racing. And I wanted to back out, but we had invested quite a big sum of money for this activity. So I said, okay, I'm going to go on to Joshua Tree and enjoy this event. The setting was in the desert, so it was a nice facility, much nicer than I thought, because we had heat. It was pretty cold at night. But anyway, getting to the main event. So we had an activity that we needed to do. And I decided I was going to stick myself in the middle of the line because I didn't want to be first. I'm going to watch everybody go through and see how it is before I even attempt it. So as my turn, I'm standing in one line and I'm watching the people over there going through that activity. And boy, the consternation. I see people falling off the rope and my heart started racing. So now I was done with one activity and I'm going over to that activity. And before now, I'm going to be transparent about this, and my friend may watch this later and she will know because we all discussed it at the event, right? So here I am in the line. We're supposed to partner up with someone, and I scanned the whole line. I figured I knew who I wanted to be my partner. Since I am so scared, I needed somebody who is strong. And there was a friend of mine there who had suffered a stroke. And because she had a stroke, she could not walk very well. She looked like she wasn't able to support me, and I certainly didn't want to support her because I just was too wrapped up in my fear. I didn't want to have to struggle with my fears and supporting her too. So I climbed up the ladder and went up to the top of the rope. Now there's a rope that's about maybe 2 inches thick that we have to climb over, and there are like maybe three vertical ropes on my side and 3 on her side. So get this picture. There are 2 ladders at both ends. We each are climbing up our own ladders, and the task is climb up the ladder, get on the rope. Of course, you're tethered, right? And reach for rope number 1, scoot across over, and grab rope number 2. Now, every interval of rope was much further apart than the other one. So I reached up and I grabbed rope number 1 and I stuck my behind off, on a squatting position so I didn't fall off. You can't stand straight on that rope and it's wobbling back and forth. Okay, so I take this rope and I'm reaching over for the next one, and it's a little bit far out, so I reach and I reach and I reach until I grab rope number 1. My hands are burning because you're supporting yourself up there on that ladder with your hand on that rope. So I grabbed rope number 2 and I looked across, and Valerie had not climbed up on the rope as yet. She hadn't. And the task was we were to meet in the middle and then they would let us down. So I'm climbing across. Rope number 3 was hard to get. And I stretched and I stretched and I said, "Let me down." And immediately the group down there goes, "No, Gwen, you can do it. Go on, Gwen, go on." I said, "No, I can't do it. Let me down." They go, "You can do it. You're strong. You're I thought, well, maybe I should try. My hands are burning. So I tried to reach over to the next rope. And eventually I grabbed it. And that brought me to the center where I'm supposed to meet my partner. And she is not there. But now I am relieved that I did my half. And so now it's time for them to let me down. So I looked behind me for them to let me down. And they wouldn't. They said, Gwen, go get her. This is another journey. My hand is screaming by this. Go get her. Get her, Gwen, and pull her up on the rope. I go, what? No, I can't do it. Yes, you can, Gwen. Go do it. Okay, so all right. So the community is behind me. I'm going to try. So I reached over for rope number 4, and I grasped it. And I started my journey, inching my way across the rope and across the rope. And so I got to the end where she was. And I thought, okay, well, I did it now. Pull her up on the rope, Gwen. These people don't stop, do they? Pull her up on the rope, Gwen. Pull her up. I go, God, I can barely, my hands are just about ready to start bleeding. What do you mean, pull her up on the rope? Go, Gwen, pull her up on the rope. So I reached down and I grabbed Valerie's hand. They told me, grab her right above my elbow and she should grab below my elbow. So we grabbed one another's arm and I pulled Valerie up on the rope. OMG, as they said. I am completely stoked that I was able to do this. And now Valerie started walking across on the rope. She was amazing. She was so inspirational to everybody in that group because none of us were thinking that she could even do it. So she reached over and they let me down, and the most overwhelming emotion overtook me because I was so thrilled that I had conquered that. And in that moment, I learned some great things about life and about fear. See, first of all, I learned never to judge a book by its cover. With my friend, I was thinking she couldn't do it. There were other activities she did that I could not even touch. That's how inspirational she was to the whole group. We all felt this small for judging her, really, right? But then above that, the whole thing about fear. Here's what I learned about fear. Number 1, it is an imposter. That if you allow fear to come into your life and to overtake you, it is going to rob you of your growth. It is supporting and looking as though it's supporting you and keeping you safe, but it's really false. There is nothing there that's real. More than 99.9% of the times, the things you fear never happen. So let go. What are you afraid of right now that you need to start in your life, in your business, that's going to get you to the next level? Are you afraid of taking that step? Step out. Fear, your subconscious is intended to keep you in the status quo. It's intended to keep you just the way you are. That is the duty of your subconscious mind. Don't let it rob you. It's an imposter. The second thing I learned about fear is that I am stronger than it. All those things that were going on in my head. What if the rope breaks? What if I fall off? What if? None of that came to pass. And from that particular event, I was able to take on other similar events and recreate in my own mind what that circumstance should be instead of letting fear dictate what it is. I see that, MK. Oh, yes, I'm so happy. Yes, it is a God thing. Yep. Okay, awesome. So, here's what I also learned, though, that just as much as how, oh, Amy, you are so blessed. Thank you. You're more than welcome. Just as how I created that story in my mind about what the bad things were going to happen to me if I got up on that rope, I could choose to create something that is empowering, something that strengthens me, something that causes me to step out of my comfort zone so I could get to the next level of my greatness. There is greatness in every single one of you. And when you let fear stop you, you never achieve it. Somebody else is robbed because you never take that time to step out and really be all you could be. I learned that. And the third thing that I learned is that if you let fear do its thing, it's going to paralyze you. But the minute you step out and take that first step, it immediately diminishes. Once I got up on that rope, I couldn't even be fearful anymore about going up there. My whole mind was set now on keeping me on task and getting to the activity safely. So the fear didn't even come my way when I was up on that rope anymore, right? Now, what rope do you have to climb on? What do you have to climb on? What is your hurdle? What is the thing? The one thing that you know in your heart this moment as you are watching this that you must do, and yet you have let fear stop you from doing it. What is it? Let me tell you, step out. There is nothing to fear. And as I've always said, and I'm going to say again, I'm not going to put a link on this page. I will not. There is a free resource that I have that if you want it, reach out to me and I will send you the link, and you will be amazed at the power of this subconscious mind and how it keeps you frozen. It keeps you from being great. It keeps you from being powerful. It keeps you from reaching out and touching somebody else's life. Do you know somebody is waiting for you? Someone in this world is waiting for you. Yes, Amy, it is confirmation. And when you don't step out and do what you were created to do, somebody else is suffering as a result. My friends, I am so on it today. I feel so inspired, and I want you to search your life this moment and think, what is it that I need to do that I can step out to achieve, and how can I allow the community to support me? You see, a lot of times when we think of reaching out to community to help us, we think of ourselves as less than, that we're begging. Oh no, my dear. It is the weak person that doesn't reach out. You can go and talk to anyone who has achieved massive successes in their life, and they will tell you it's the power of the network. You cannot do it by yourself. Don't reach out to easy people. Ooh, I see that, MK. Really? Wow. So there's a message there for you. Yes. And I know, MK, that you are a leader. So if we need to talk about this afterwards, then definitely let us do this, because you are a leader in every possible way. And you too, Amy, I see you in that group. So you are powerful ladies. And if I fulfill one mission in my life, and if I can inspire one woman, just one, to step out and achieve massive success, my duties will be well done. I wouldn't be stopping there, but I tell you what, that would be completely phenomenal. I love the likes. Thank you so much. So reach out for community and get community to support you in what you are doing. And don't reach out for the easy reach, okay? That is foolishness. Don't reach over because, I know her well and she won't think that about me, or he won't think that about me, so I'm going to ask her. Asking them fully well knowing they don't have the resources to support you. Reach out to the people who intimidate you, the people who have where you are going, or they have achieved where you want to go. Thanks for the love bubbles. I just really love that. Reach out to them and ask. Remember, when you're asking, you first give your value to them. Provide value for them, incredible value, because when you provide value for people, they naturally want to reciprocate. And then ask. Ask in a powerful way with specificity, as we said yesterday. Make it specific. Make it measurable. In what quantity? Make it like action-oriented, relevant, and time-bound. Be specific and clear about your requests. And so, ladies, I am just so incredibly delighted that you were able to join me today. And I don't know if there are any questions down there. I see none, but I love the comments and I love the feedback. And I feel there was a burn in my chest today. This is the burn that I feel every day when I wake up, that I just want to be one little cog, one little part in this whole cosmos of possibilities that I can create for someone. So if you have no questions, just remember, if you need to reach out to me, if you would like to have links, I love the love bubbles. If you want to get any further information, I'm not going to post a link on my page. But if you reach out, I will email you something, any resource you need, and you will have access to it. Ladies, you are amazing. You are powerful. You are lovable. You are great. Step out and claim that power and step in it. And I will be back here tomorrow at 3 p.m. So I hope that you can join me then. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you. Bye.